What's going on, guys, and welcome back to my AEW Collision review here today for July 15th, 2023. I am Graham G.S. Matthews. Hope you guys are doing well and having a great rest of your weekend currently. I was not planning on doing a Collision review today. I was actually supposed to be at the Mets game, but it rained out, or it didn't get rained out, but it got delayed, and it just wasn't worth it. So I'm here breaking down the show. I caught the show last night, not live, but after the fact. Battle of the Belts, by the way, not doing a review for that. A complete waste of fucking time. Collision, though, was great. Thoroughly enjoyed it, which is why I'm breaking it down here today. Again, wasn't originally planning on doing it, but because time presented itself and I had the opportunity to do a review, the show was so strong, I figured why not. Like I've said before in the last couple of weeks, Collision already, 5 episodes in, has already become my favorite weekly wrestling program of any major company. Really, any company just in general. That includes WWE, Impact, I don't watch New Japan, MLW, Ring of Honor, NWA, blah, blah, blah. Of all this stuff I cover and watch weekly, this is my favorite show. Again, including Dynamite and Rampage, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, whatever. Collision's been great. This was another excellent show. We had 4 matches, 4 measly matches. And I say measly, but they were all great matches. Specifically, the title match and the 2 Owen Hart Cup matches. The squash match, not so much, but it served its purpose. But this is going to be a pretty short and sweet review because we only had 4 matches on this show. And no promos, really, no time filler stuff. They were actually rushing for time as it was because the opener went an hour. A 2 out of 3 falls match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. FTR defending against Bullet Club Gold's Jay White and Juice Robinson. You knew this was going to be an excellent match coming off that initial encounter a week ago. That first awesome match these 2 teams had. And I wasn't quite sure how they'd be able to top themselves, specifically because the match just happened a week ago. And that was such a great match, I wasn't sure if this could be any better. And I was kind of worried a little bit early on. It was a really good match, but they hadn't really picked up the pace yet. The first fall was great, but again, it's one of those FTR matches that gradually gets better and better as it progresses. Like I said, this went almost exactly an hour. And what I fucking hate about 2 out of 3 falls matches most of the time is that the first match went almost 30 minutes last week. And I know that was probably because Willow and Athena got cut due to Willow not being cleared at that point, so they gave the time to these guys. But what I hate, though, is that a normal match will go 25, 30 minutes sometimes. They do 2 out of 3 falls matches, and the entire match as a whole goes 25, 30 minutes. Now, how does that make sense if it's supposed to be 2 or 3 matches in one? They did not have that issue here. This was really 3 different falls. FTR lost the first one. They had to win the second one. They won the third one, obviously retaining their championships. I say obviously, but there was a chance Bullet Club Gold could win the championships here. I kind of figured they would win, that FTR would retain rather, because they got Adam Cole and MJF coming up. I don't think they would put the belts on Bullet Club Gold and then tease, MJF and Adam Cole could win the championships, although we just had a title change 2 weeks earlier. I'll be at Collision in 2 weeks in Hartford, which I'm looking forward to, if this show is any indication. The show so far has been great in the last month. This was not only the best Collision match yet, not only one of the best AEW matches so far this year, this was one of the best AEW matches so far in company history. Where it ranks, I don't know. But FTR struck gold again here. And this was an amazing match, perfectly paced, well thought out, great execution, great spots, awesome suspense down the stretch, great crowd involvement. It had everything and hit every fucking note you would want it to. In Canada, no less. Not their first 2 out of 3 falls match in Canada. Obviously, their initial instant classic with DIY took place in Canada, in Toronto, a takeover back in late 2016. That was 7 years ago. Since then, they've had that awesome 2 out of 3 falls match almost exactly a year ago, Death Before Dishonor, the Ring of Honor pay-per-view with the Briscoes. Before the DIY match in 2016, they had the one with Alpha Academy earlier that year on NXT for the tag team titles. There might have been another one. I feel like they had another 2 out of 3 falls match. Maybe it was DIY on NXT TV. Maybe it was with Authors of Pain. I don't remember. I know they had a ladder match with them. But regardless, though, I mean, they're the masters of the stipulation for a reason. They won again here. Just an excellent fucking match. And if there really is anything that you have time for this weekend, that you have an hour to spare, which is not a lot of time, which could be a lot of time for, or not a lot of time, whatever. If you have 60 minutes to spare, check this match out. Do not watch fucking Battle of the Belts or anything from Rampage or whatever, although Athena in Willow was once again very good. Check this match out. It was quite great, Thoroughly enjoyed it. Cannot come up with enough superlatives to describe this matchup. That's how much I enjoyed it. Now, one of my only nitpicks from this episode is the fact that they formatted the women's match, they positioned the women's match after that opener. They did have a squash match after this with the Kings of the Black Throne, Brody King and Malachi Black beating some random enhancement team of Randy Myers and Artemis Spencer, two job guys from the area. They beat them quickly. Andrade was on the stage. Really nothing more to say about that one. I'll just, talk about it here. I wish they had put that after the opener to kind of give the crowd a cool-down match. The Willow Ruby Soho match did not deserve to go after that opener. Not that it was going to be a barn burner or better than the opener by any stretch, but they went out there, put forth a really good effort. They had a really good match, and the crowd was quiet for most of it. Now, they weren't given that much time. It was like an 8-minute match. It didn't feel overly special. It felt like an ordinary TV match to me. But listen, it was well worked. I just hated that they put this after the opener because, again, the crowd just was fucking exhausted from that match. I don't blame them. But this wasn't going to main event, but it could have gone before the main event. That's my thing. They could have just done the women's and men's Owen Hart Cup matches back-to-back because it did the women no favors here. But again, it was a good match. Willow winning was the right call. No fucking Saraya. And I don't think Saraya was out there. I don't think Toni Storm was out there either. Toni had her championship defense later on in the night at Battle of the Belts against Taya Valkyrie, who she beat clean. Actually, I'm sorry, not clean. Ruby actually helped her retain in that match. But Saraya was not in this match, I don't believe. And Ruby Soho lost. She attempted to use the fucking spray can bullshit, I think. Fuck that. But other than that, no Outcast interference. It wasn't ruined by that. Willow won clean. Great endorsement for her. She actually just recently lost the New Japan Women's Championship, the Strong Women's title. So this kind of clears the way for her to not only win this Women's Cup, but face Athena next Friday, which that entire card, by the way, yet to be officially announced. Not a single match confirmed for that show, other than the fact that Claudia is defending and Samoa Joe are defending their championships. No shit. Obviously they are. We don't know the rest of the card, though, which is kind of a problem when you when you spend 3 hours of TV time on Ring of Honor almost every week. 3 hours, 2 hours, 90 minutes. Not a single pay-per-view match announced for the show in less than a week? What the fuck? But anyway, this was good. Willow winning was the right call. She should be the one beating Athena, the formerly undefeated Athena, for the Ring of Honor World Women's Championship coming up at Death Before Dishonor next Friday on pay-per-view. Already mentioned the Kings of the Black Throne match. I think that was it as far as like everything else on the show. I don't remember there being any other backstage segments. I'm sure there was. I'm sure they hyped stuff up for next week. I don't remember. I know Scorpio Sky was watching the TNT title match. That was a Battle of the Belts, though. That wasn't on this show. I think Powerhouse Hobbs, I don't know if they did a QTV segment, which is fucking terrible. They're getting way too much television time right now. I think we got a segment with them backstage. Maybe it was Rampage. I've watched a lot of wrestling this week, and Impact also had their Slammiversary pay-per-view last night, which I'm also still currently catching up on. I think that was it, though. I think he may have teased more of a babyface turn. Nothing really came out of that. Okay, whatever. We get to the main event, the finals of the men's Owen Hart Cup, Ricky Starks and CM Punk. Really good match here. Another opportunity for Starks to show they can hang with the main event talent. I think he succeeded. The crowd was perfectly divided throughout. Half of the crowd wanted, I don't know if it was 50-50, exactly, but it felt like 50 Punk, 50 Starks. They weren't booing Starks, but Punk got a lot of boos. Crowds continue to boo and cheer Punk. He's very polarizing. He's very cut down the middle as far as the crowd reactions. And it's made for a great atmosphere during his matches, if nothing else. I feel like, again, if one guy's got to go heel going forward, Ricky Starks seemingly cheated to win this match. He held the ropes, kind of acted a bit arrogantly, and they kind of played that up on commentary after the show was over, which bled into Battle of the Belts. They showed him with the trophy, and they did the whole trophy celebration during Battle of the Belts, and he didn't act heel during that because it's like supposed to be a formal thing with Martha Hart, whatever. But he did act heelish towards Thunder Liger on the stage. So that was interesting. But, so if they're going to be turning one of these guys heel, it would make more sense to me for it to be CM Punk and not Ricky Starks. But I guess they want their top babyface in Punk on Collision. Starks is not that guy yet. But the problem is they already have Hobbs, who I assume is turning soon, hopefully. He doesn't feel like a top babyface. I guess they might give him the Wardlow treatment for a little while. Maybe. I like Hobbs a lot, but I'm not sure about that. They already have Jay White and Samoa Joe as top babyfaces on this show. So to turn Starks instead of Punk just seems odd to me. I mean, you could have just kept them both babyface or just turned Punk. Maybe Starks cheating will be turned in a way where Punk is upset that people are booing him, even though he, was going to win fair and square, but they cheer Starks because he cheated. Maybe he turns on the fans that way. That's just me being creative. I don't know if they would actually do that. That has been done before with like the Shawn Michaels Jericho thing. Shawn Michaels cheated to beat Batista back at Backlash 2008. Jericho saw it. He called Shawn out on it, and the crowd didn't care. They just continued to cheer Shawn, and they booed Jericho, and Jericho then turned heel. He had a point, but they still turned him heel because it made sense because people were booing him. I would love for that to be the case here. I don't know if that's the storyline they're going with. But Starks kind of acted like a dick, and it's not like he's Shawn Michaels, so I feel like that's not the direction they're going in. The match itself was quite good, and I can't complain because Starks won. Starks has more to gain from this win than Punk does. Starks becomes only the third man in AEW history to pin CM Punk. The only other two being Jon Moxley in the second-to-last AEW match that Punk had, and the first one being MJF from early, I think it was February 2022 on Dynamite. Now, of course, the key's in the follow-up, remember. Starks has beaten Jericho clean, I think, twice this year. He beat him on pay-per-view. He beat him on Dynamite, the first Dynamite of 2023. He's picked up a lot of big wins. He beat Powerhouse Hobbs in that big Rampage match, on Grand Slam Rampage last year. He was FTW champion for like a year. He beat, he went toe-to-toe with MJF for the World Championship. He won the Eliminator Tournament. And he kind of went cold there for a while. Now, I know he feuded with Jay White, but it didn't really go anywhere. Jay didn't even really benefit from it. It was kind of a program that existed. It kept them both busy, and that was about it. He is really cooled off, and him winning this helps with that. The problem, though, again, like with the other instances I just mentioned, I mentioned those other instances and whatnot, they have to benefit. They have to benefit him, and if they don't, then it's a waste of time. If they don't capitalize off this win for Ricky Starks going forward, then this was a waste. But a Starks Punk program, honestly, sign me the fuck up. I'm not a big proponent of Starks going heel already. I think he's better off as a babyface. But I feel like he could do well in this role if he's programmed with Punk. If Punk's not, I thought Punk would be feuding with Samoa Joe. That's really what I want to say. Samoa Joe was not on the show. So Samoa Joe is busy with the Ring of Honor TV title right now. Who he faces at Death Before Dishonor, I don't know. But anyway, so I like the match, though. I had a few nitpicking issues with like the Starks potential heel turn and the women's match being positioned after the opener. But overall, a great show. Another great Collision. Some have been better than others. The tape show wasn't the best. That was probably the weakest yet. I mentioned that 2 weeks ago. Beyond that, it's been a consistently entertaining show. My favorite show of the week so far. 4 matches on this show. Quick and easy. I got through the show pretty much immediately. I didn't watch it live, although I wouldn't have complained. I watched it on delay, so through the commercials and shit, I probably finished the show in less than 90 minutes. It was a quick and easy watch, thoroughly entertaining, right booking decisions, right outcomes, no complaint from yours truly. Thank you guys for checking out my Collision review for July 15, 2023. Be sure to check out my other Collision reviews in the description box down below. Like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. A lot of content from the last couple days, by the way, including today. We had my Dark Side of the Ring review on adorable Adrian Adonis. That episode aired on Tuesday. My review went up earlier today. Yesterday, my SmackDown Lowdown review, my SmackDown audio review from Friday. We review Collision and SmackDown typically here on the weekends on the channel. On Friday, my latest WWE Universe mode and my quick chat with NBA legends Vinny Del Negro and Del Curry. So check that out here on the channel from the last couple of days. WrestleRant radio excerpts, #AskGSM, other interviews, so much more. Have an awesome one, guys. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.